your wife, husband, son, daughter tells you, oh, mother, father, you look tired. You look tired. And so answer using the present perfect continuous. You have finished studying, but you say...
I have been studying a lot. I have
Very
been
good.
studying all day long.
Very good. Does it mean that you are studying right now? Probably not. Probably you have finished studying. But you want to show that this action that started in the past continued for a period of time up to the recent past.
But the been is missing.
Thank you very much. And you want to show that you use this present perfect progressive, the progressive aspect, to emphasize the what, the of the activity.
Duration.
Yes, you emphasize the duration of the activity, right? Have been studying all day long. You can also say I have studied all day long, and you show you show that this is finished. That's why it's the perfect aspect, right? You show that it's finished. But you don't want to say that. You want to show the duration, even though you are not studying at the moment. And what else is it that matters apart from the duration? Present perfect shows a connection between past and present, and also shows the present what? I have been studying all day long. That's why I'm tired.
The reason.
More than the reason, the
Result.
present result. Very good. You said something else, sorry.
Consequence.
Yes, yes. Remember then, present perfect shows the connection between past and present, but not only because the action may continue, but also because of the effect it may have in the present. Is it clear? Pay attention to this and tell me if it is clear enough. If it is not, you ask me. Do you have any other suggestion about number 2? Anything you would like to say? No? Let us work on number 3. Please, you stop me if there's anything you would like to ask me. These decisions and others have spurred hundreds of public and private employers to write sexual harassment policies, telling workers exactly how to behave. Nowadays, it is basically a legal requirement that you have an anti-harassment policy. So, who volunteers? Come on. No matter whether you have a doubt, the idea is to participate, people. Come on. Yes, Magali, present results. You wrote it in the chat, sorry. Who? Sorry.
May I?
Sure, yes, Eliana, of course.
I put the author uses present perfect to refer to an action that happened at an unspecified point of time in the past and is connected to the present time.
Yes. So the author uses present perfect. I added simple to refer to an action that happened
at an unspecified point of time in the past.
Why unspecified? Tell me.
It doesn't say.
Very good. It doesn't say. And why doesn't it say? People, what do you think?
Because it's not relevant.
It's not relevant. And that is the reason why present perfect is used. We are not interested in when the action happened. But another thing, the action proper and what you said later. The author uses present perfect simple to refer to an action happened at an unspecified point of time in the past and
is connected to the present time.
is connected to the present time. In which sense? How can we show this connection?
Let me think. I have my notes.
Very good. What you say is correct. What I
Yes.
want to do is to show this connection. How is the decisions and others have spurred hundreds of public and private employers to write sexual harassment policies. And now all the companies have an anti-harassment policy. So
In that way, it's the connection, because nowadays all the companies act that way, do that.
Yes, very good. So
That is
somebody
the
was going to
consequence.
say something.
Yes, I was
Very
trying to say that that is the consequence that the action in the past has in the present time.
Very good. Or a consequence in the present time. The present time or at present, if you want. Like this. The author uses present perfect simple to refer to an action that happened at an unspecified point of time in the past that has a consequence in the present or in the present time or at present. So the action, how do you explain it now? I wanted to say what you said later. How do you explain this? The action happened, right?
Shall I say what I
Yes, of course.
In this case, I use quotation. These decisions have spurred hundreds to write sexual harassment policies.
Very good.
That's what I put.
Very good. These decisions, a synonym of spur that you can think of here?
Influence.
Very good. Have influence. So these decisions influenced probably in the past, influenced employers in the past, and you said something before, and nowadays
they write sexual harassment policies.
Nowadays all of them have, yes.
These policies, like they have acquired these policies.
Exactly. These decisions influence in the past to write anti-harassment policies, and nowadays they all have these policies in the place of work, right? In the workplace. This is one idea, people. You can express it in different ways. I am just making this, writing this with you, because when you do this, you also practice writing. Sometimes students feel it very difficult to practice writing. So my suggestion is try to write as much as possible when you are doing exercises. Narrate everything that you are saying. If you are studying, try to make summaries. Exercise writing and practice writing in that way. We are also practicing writing here. Tell me if this is clear, people. Tell me if the purpose of the exercise is clear. Tell me if you understand what you have to do. And if you don't understand, please let me know and ask me if you want me to say something again or whatever.
Yes, the idea is to know the uses of the tenses.
Yes.
In this in any paragraph or in any text. Why the author uses those tenses.
Exactly. You know, sometimes students say, okay, this is present perfect and it is used to, I don't know, show a recent action, which is one of the uses of present perfect, to describe a recent action. Okay, good. Explain how it is a recent action in the example I have just given you. And then when they have to explain that, they realize that they have chosen the wrong use, and probably it's another use. So this is why I am telling you that it's also important for you to, as a metacognitive activity. Do you know what a metacognition is?
Yes.
What is it, Mylene?
I
If
think
you
that
have
this is
to...
common.
No, please.
I don't know in words in English.
It's metacognition. It's a cognitive process. You are reflecting upon your own what?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. That's it. Yes. Don't worry. Okay. It's okay, Isis. Don't worry. I'm reading the chat. Don't worry, Isis. It's good that you are back. Very good. Metacognition is, okay, I know this, but this activity will help me reflect upon what I know and reconstruct that knowledge. The same happens with drafts. When I correct a draft that you write, the idea is that you can not, I'm not going to just mark a mistake and correct it. No, I'm going to ask you to think about your mistake and correct it yourself. So you are going to reconstruct your own knowledge, right? This is why it's metacognitive. This is the idea here, people, to ask yourself, to be constantly asking yourselves about what you know, doubting, and the more you know, the less you know, they say, right? So the more you know, the more you doubt, the more you hesitate, because you are constructing knowledge, and that is good. That is good. Now, any questions, people, about this? You ask me. We are not going to go to modality. So tell me if you have any questions, and so that I can help you.
I have a question that is related with something that you previously mentioned about,
yes.
Because I couldn't take notes about that.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
You said that present perfect, in present perfect tense, is not relevant when the action occurred and happened, and I couldn't finish writing. Was it because it's not relevant when the action happened, but what is actually relevant is that connection with the present, isn't it?
Exactly, right you are. What we concentrate on is the action proper and the effect it has on in the present time. In some cases, it's just the action proper. You know this typical use of the present perfect tense when you say experiences. Okay, we use present perfect to talk about experiences. Okay, yes, but it is okay. Experiences, I'm writing it here. But it's difficult when we teach this to our students. It's difficult for them to really see the use. They see this experience more connected with the typical question we ask. Which is the typical question you ask when you want to know about experiences?
Maybe, have you ever been to London? I don't know.
Exactly. Have you ever ridden on a roller coaster? You know what a roller coaster is? Okay, a roller coaster. At the fun fair, at the amusement park?
La montaña rusa.
Very good, very good. Have you ever ridden on a roller coaster? And
No,
Present perfect. No, I haven't, you say. Very good. And you say present perfect. Why? For experiences. Okay, yes. How can you explain this in another way? Help me. How would you explain? A student says to you, but I don't understand what you mean by experiences. Why experiences? If I say to you, I rode on a roller coaster last year, isn't that an experience too? Yes, okay, but I'm using the simple past. So sometimes these names are confusing for students too. So we need to be prepared to give them more tools to understand the present perfect tense, which is a tense so complicated for them because they don't have the same equivalent in Spanish, or we don't use it. Has montado en una has andado en una montaña rusa, has subido a una montaña. We don't say this. ¿Alguna vez subiste? We use something more connected with a simple past. So how can you explain this to a student? Why do we use present perfect? In have you ever ridden on a roller coaster? Have you ever eaten raw fish? Sushi, whatever. Imagine a student tells you, I don't understand why experience. What do you say?
I think because it refers to your whole life. I mean, in all your life experience, if you have ever been or you have ever ridden on a roller coaster. So
if you have ever ridden, very good. Yes, exactly. It refers to your whole life. Good, Evelyn. So what is it that you are not asking about?
The specific time when it happened.
Exactly. You are not asking, did you ride on a roller coaster last summer? You don't want to know that. You want to know about an action they may have experienced during the whole life, from the past, the moment they were born, to the present time. And this is how you show them the connection between past and present. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sure. Not just experiences. And then when the student answers, he can say or she can say, yes, I have. And then give more information about it. I rode on a roller coaster last summer. When he specifies, he needs to give past time reference. If you just say, oh, I have ridden on a roller coaster twice, you are not saying when, because the time does not really matter in the message I want to give, but the action itself. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
so
please
much.
ask me.
Anina,
No.
may I say
Yes.
something?
Of course,
not
sure.
related with this. A classmate has sent me a message, Aldana Brito.
Yes.
She cannot
Aldana.
connect. She cannot connect with the meeting because
Don't
she
worry.
has some problems.
Then
And
ask her to ask me for the recording.
yes,
Okay?
I told her, but she wanted to tell you that she has some issues to connect now.
It's okay. It's okay. I'd rather you ask me. Thank you very much. Send her my regards, Eliana. And thanks for sharing this with me.
No, you're welcome.
I'd rather you ask me for the recording, either to practice or because you couldn't connect. Because I cannot commit myself to promise you to upload the link every class, because I may forget, you know, things may happen. And so I'd rather you ask me and I share it with you, and then you share. I don't care really. But the thing is that, you know what, sometimes, as I told you the other day, the video does not process immediately. So I am thinking, oh, I have to share it. I have to share it. And then, well, probably it slips my mind. Good people. Maria Mabel Choque, you are saying the time reference is sometimes undefined. What do you mean? In the case of the experiences that we are talking about? Yes, sure. Sometimes we don't really know when. And this when sometimes does not matter. I want to know if you have undergone an experience like that. Now, any other thing you would like to ask me? In the meantime, I'm going to, sorry, I have prepared something, but I'm looking for it. Just a minute. Here it is. I have prepared a PowerPoint and I'm going to share it with you later on, today or next week. I want you to read the theory first. And it is connected with verb tenses because I would like to revise this with you. I would like you to pay attention. Just a minute, I'm looking for it, sorry. I would like you to pay attention to the use of tenses described and the examples that you will see. I cannot show it to you as a PowerPoint presentation because I don't know why, to tell you the truth. It doesn't get shared. Okay. So verb tenses, revision. I took the images from the internet and you have the reference material at the end, the website, but I compiled everything to show this to you. Pay attention to the uses of present simple here. Here you have the uses and examples. Is there, read it on your own, please. Is there any use that you don't understand? And I'm going to ask you about one in particular.
Could you make it bigger, please? Because I...
Sure. Sorry. Let's see if I can make it. Tell me if it is bigger like this. No? Or like this? Oops.
Maybe you can zoom it to the where it says usage. That's what we have to read. Because for example, I'm on the phone and it's very small.
Let's see.
I'm
yes,
sorry.
Of course you should. No, please. The problem is that when I move this, it goes to the other page and I don't know why.
It's a mess.
Yes, and I don't know why. But it's not a mess because of what you are asking me. It's a mess because I don't know why this happens. Let's see. Like this? Oh, gosh. What is it that I've done? Like this or not, people?
Like that.
Yes, better that way.
Yes.
Better, yeah.
Let's see. You tell me. And I'm going to ask you a question. You have routines and permanent situations there. I wrote it in the chat and I tell you just in case. What is the difference between a routine and a permanent situation?
Can I try to explain it?
Yes, and I will see if I have another file to share, probably clearer than this one, and I can zoom it. Let me check. Sorry, I'm just verb tenses. Well, yes. Go ahead, darling. Go ahead.
Sorry, it was
No.
habit. What's the difference between routine? routine is like something you decide to do every day or every certain time, and
Yes.
a permanent situation is something that it won't change.
Okay, and how is it that we won't change?
It's an universal truth.
Like on a state, it's like, for example,
Is
you know, I'm I forgot.
Don't worry,
No, I
I'm
forgot
listening.
the
something
measurement in English.
something
You know,
that
they
you
measure.
can change?
For example, I'm 1.5 meters tall. I won't be taller and I won't be shorter. That's a permanent situation.
Isn't that
Because
what
it is
you
a
brought me?
fact.
A fact or a general truth? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, now, a fact or a general truth is something that cannot be changed, as you say. The typical example that you find in books is the sun rises in the east. There's no way the sun, well, I don't know, I think it happens in, I don't know, people. I know nothing about science or geography, and maybe there's another country, probably I'm saying, the water boils at degrees, I'm sorry. Water boils at 100 degrees. Good. This is what happens with water, and you cannot change it. It won't boil before. It will boil at a certain temperature. Now, a permanent situation will be contrasted. What you said before about the routine is fine, people. It's something you decide to do every day, right? Good. Now, permanent truths. Wait a second, I'm looking for it. Are
Wait,
sorry, you want to say something?
I think I was thinking about that in that with that specific example of I work in a bank. I think that the difference would be that it doesn't depend actually on the person who is doing the action. For example, I don't know. If you work in a bank, there is something else that may give the reason. I don't know.
You know what?
For
A
example, in the case of
permanency,
working a
yes.
contract,
Can't you
I
change
don't know.
it? Can't you change? You think
No,
you
we
cannot
cannot change it. The permanent truths are always the same.
Okay, let's make a difference now between what you know as a fact or a general truth and as a permanent situation. And let's compare a permanent situation with a temporary situation, which would be this one here. To describe a temporary situation, I am staying with a friend for a few days.
Maybe.
Yes, please.
It just came to my mind that maybe the difference is that comparing with the what did you say just now? Temporary situation.
Yes.
That permanent situation is that something that is not happening at the moment, but it will happen or it happens. It's not a habit because you don't decide it, but it happens often, like regularly.
Can you explain? I think I understand your point. Now, it's okay. We are constructing this together because I don't want to give you directly the answer. I want you to think about it. Pay attention to these two examples that I'm going to ask you, to tell you, to say. You asked me, where do you work, Janina? You know, I work at Rojas Institute. Okay. Simple present, permanent situation. Then, you know, you asked me, okay, but do you work anywhere else? You know what? Actually, meaning not at present, huh? Actually, I need to save some more money because I'm planning to, you know, move away. So, but I don't know. This is a job that I got, nothing connected with teaching, and I'm working as a secretary for a company. I'm working as a secretary for a company. Present continuous, temporary. Does it mean that I'm working at the moment of speaking? Is it an action performed at the moment of speaking? One of the uses of present continuous. No. So that's not the use. We call it temporary situation. Why? Pay attention to what I said. I work at Rojas Institute, but you know, nowadays I need to save some more money because I'm planning to move away and I need to buy a lot of things. So I'm working as a secretary. Why isn't that one permanent?
Because she will work just until she gets the money to buy all the stuff.
Okay. Any other? Good. I continue listening.
You may work in another place. You may work anywhere you want. It's
but
not.
Why isn't that I don't say I work as a secretary? I'm working as a secretary. I use the present
nowadays it's sorry, something that is happening now.
But it's not at the moment of speaking.
No, I can't remember the word.
It's an action that had a period of time. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay because you want to participate. That's fine. So, yes. Mabel, Marisa, and Eliana, I want to listen to the three of you. Sorry. Mabel?
Yes, because you are working for a limited period.
How do you know that it is for a limited period?
Because you said, I work in Rojas Institute. That is a habit for you, or that is your permanent work. And then you said, but I am working as a secretary. Because perhaps it isn't a necessity for you, but you need it. You need some money, an extra money, for a limited period.
Good. So you see that I use two different tenses.
Yes.
Marisa, you wanted to say something, darling.
No. Yes. I'm agree with Maria. Maria, I think is her name.
Yes, Maria.
That this implies that she's working as a secretary, as talking about a period of time. It's going to finish in any time. I don't know how to say it.
Yes, Marisa, good.
It's
Eliana,
a temporary truth. Sorry.
Yes, Eliana, go ahead, darling.
It's a temporary truth. It's something that is real now, but we don't know if it's going to continue forever.
Good. Juan, did you put up your hand, Juan? Or it was, yes.
It's because you are doing this work until you get your objetivo. That is
you reach your objective.
From your house.
You reach your goal.
Yes.
You reach your goal.
Yes, your goal.
So, for temporary situations, I use present continuous or present progressive because what is it that I want to communicate? That, as you very well said, My intention is not to have it as a permanent job. It's just for a period of time. That's why I communicate it in that way, and I don't say I work as a secretary, because what I want to show you is that it's temporary. I'm not planning to make it permanent, right? But when I say I work at Rojas Institute, my message is I am not planning to change that job. So that's why it's a permanent situation. It depends on what you decide also, right? And these uses are not used with any verb. In general, you use them with work, live. For example, you say, I live in Moreno, but nowadays I'm living with my parents in Merlo because my house is being repainted, whatever. So I know it's going to be temporary. You use it with work, live, study, with a very small set of verbs, not with any verb. And the difference is this, the message that you want to communicate and what you have decided. Do you plan to...
Sorry.
Yes, Eliana, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you repeat, because I'm in a lost. You said certain verbs are used for temporary situations or for permanent truth?
For both. No, one thing is a general truth, which is like a fact. Something that
That's
never
present
changes.
simple. We use present simple.
Now, which are those permanent truths? Things that are not to be changed, right? Or cannot be changed. That's why I gave the example of water boils at 100 degrees. My dog barks when he sees the milkman. Well, the milkman does not exist anymore.
Yes.
But, when he sees the maidman, okay, those are facts, scientific or not, but things that never change. A permanent situation or a temporary situation, let's say, they are used with certain verbs: work, live, study. The ones I wrote them
those
down
are with temporary situations.
Temporary and permanent. One thing is general truth. General truth is a fact. That's another thing. Probably it's because of, that's a general truth, a fact. But I work at Rojas Institute, that's not a fact. That's a permanent situation, okay? Because of course I may also change, it may change if I decide to, okay? If I decide to change it, it may change, but there are things which are facts which don't change, which are always like that. So to refer to a permanent situation is with verbs such as work, live, or study. You know, when you say, I study at Rojas Institute, I live in Moreno. If I ask you for the use of this, of present simple here, you're not going to say that it's a routine, because that's not a routine. I live in Moreno every day. You don't say that. No. So that's a permanent situation as opposed to a temporary one. You know that you are going to do this for a period of time, and you are not planning to change it.
Yes, I understand now. I'm sorry, but I got lost.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. The idea is to, I mean, if chaos appears in our heads, in our minds, it's because something new will be reconstructed, and that is good, okay? So the idea is that you know the difference. If you have any other question, you ask me.
Thank you.
To emphasize, no, please. This use of the present continuous to emphasize the frequency of an action. That child is always crying for no good reason. Of course, we can also say it in another way. We can say that this expresses repetition of an action that is done repeatedly. And sometimes it may even be what? If you say,
Annoying.
my brother is always annoying habit. Exactly. Does it mean that it's always going to be annoying? No, not necessarily. I can say she's always studying mathematics to show the repetition of the action. But it does not necessarily mean that it's annoying. More often than not, it shows annoyance on the part of who is saying it. But it's not always an annoying habit. You use present continuous with which adverbs? Always is one. Any other?
Usually.
Forever.
Forever. I didn't get the other one. Forever. Always.
Often.
No.
Usually.
No. Always, forever, continually, all the time,
Constantly.
Constantly. Only with these adverbs, perpetually. Only with these adverbs, people. Not with all the frequency adverbs, right? Because it shows the repetition of the action. And this repetition, it shows with these more extreme adverbs that express all the time. She's forever doing this. She's constantly, she's continually. Sorry, Juan.
No, I'm sorry because I couldn't hear because of my dog. Those adverbs are used to express what?
If you, don't worry, if you pay attention to the PowerPoint here, oh, no, it's not working. Can you see this or not? Or it's still too small?
Janina, would you upload the PowerPoint on the platform?
Sure. Why is it that I didn't upload it before? Because I want you to read the theory I asked you to read from the book. You should always go to the book, because this is a way to exercise, let's say, the ability of understanding the reference book, not, let's say, the decoded message or somebody who is communicating the message. So please always go to the reference book, but this is like a guide, you know? Yes, I will, sure. To describe a temporary situation, sorry, Juan. I was saying this one. To emphasize the frequency of an action, we use present continuous. Probably the activity is not, most probably the activity is not being performed at the moment of speaking, as the first one. Jim is watching television at the moment. But it is an action that happens repeatedly. It happens repeatedly. So, as we say, repeatedly, it shows the continuity of the action. And we use present continuous with adverbs that are generally used in simple present, for example, always. But not all the adverbs, not all the frequency adverbs, but forever, always, continually, all the time, constantly, perpetually, and you use them with present continuous to show repeated actions. Sometimes these repeated actions may be annoying, so you may want to imply that they are annoying. Sometimes they are just repeated actions. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
what about, let me see if I can, sorry, this is a mess. If I can upload it as, sorry, I have a mess here, as a PDF, and I can share it as a PDF. Probably it will be better in that way, and you will be able to see it better. Okay, let's see. So another one. What happens if you use, there was another use, and then we discussed this, and then we will be having a break. What happens if it says, oh, sorry, I cannot concentrate, sorry, people. I am concentrated on this, and I cannot, let's see, wait a second. Just a minute, please. Here. Oh, okay. Can you see this now better or not?
Yes.
Yes, or it is the same?
It's kind of the same, I think.
Oh,
now
let's see.
now it's better.
Now it's better.
Okay. People, thank you for your honesty. Honesty pays, you know, and sincerity, because we need to be sincere. Or, oh, this, well, I don't know. Here, I'm going to, no, better.
It's okay. We will see it
Oh,
clearly when you upload the PDF.
yes,
Don't
I
worry,
want to,
Janina. Don't
We'll
worry.
no,
later.
I wanted
Okay.
to, wait a
We
minute.
hear you also.
Probably,
You explained it pretty well. Very good.
you know what? What happens if I upload it? Can you see it from your device, but then you won't be able to see me and the notes and the and everything, right? No,
Claro.
No. It's
it will be a mess.
too much
Okay,
work.
okay. Yes, it will be.
I mean, for the short time we have. Now, I'm not saying it's,
Yes.
you know.
No. You are right, people. You are right. Let me. What happens if you have an example like this? I'm going to copy an example here. Are you seeing this? No. I'm not sharing. No, I made a mess, people. Okay, here. And then, okay. Oh, gosh. I am taking my French lessons next Friday. I am going to take my French lesson, sorry. The first one is present continuous or present progressive. The second one shows the use of be going to, which has another name. This is called lexical auxiliary, but don't worry, but this is not really a tense. I am taking my French lessons next Friday is present continuous. What does it express here? What's the use of?
That
Very good.
you
An
Yes,
arrangement.
yes, good. And what else? You were going to say something else. Somebody was saying something. Say everything that comes to your mind and you want to share.
That you planned that action, when to do it, how there is a plan, there is something prepared to do that action. When,
Good.
in this case, it's not saying that you are going to take French lessons. You are telling when you are take that lesson.
And what is the difference between I am taking my French lessons next Friday or I am going to take?
The first one you have already arranged, and the second one is an intention, or perhaps you decided at the spur of the moment. I don't know.
What do you mean, Marisa, by you have already arranged it? Good. Good one. Good. Yeah.
You have your classes on your French lessons on Fridays.
Yes.
It's an schedule that it is arranged. I don't know.
Very good. How many people do you need to arrange this? How many people do you need? Can you arrange something on your own? When you arrange.
No, we can.
Yes.
For example, what can you arrange on your own?
Put the clock alarm.
The alarm.
A date. No, you can arrange a day, a meeting with other
but
people.
You always need, exactly. There's always some sort of negotiation with a second part, no matter if it is, I don't know, a telephone call you need to make to arrange it, and probably an answering machine or an automatic message answers. There's somebody else or another part you need to arrange. You cannot start alone. So for arrangements, you always need somebody else. That's why it's called arrangements. If you are taking your French lessons next Friday, it's because you have already enrolled probably or talked to somebody who is going to deliver those lessons. But if you say, that's why when we think of arrangements, we think that it is fixed. Fixed, why? Because you have arranged. There is some sort of, how can I put it? There is some sort of, well, there's something that you have done to achieve this goal with another one. But if you say, I'm going to take French lessons, this I'm going to implies that this is not arranged, but it's just an intention. Your plan, your intention to do is a one-way thing. I have the intention. Have I arranged to do it? No, this is my intention on my part. I am going to, I have the intention. Do you see the difference?
Yes.
Or not? Tell me, please.
Yes, yes.
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 This is another thing that I would like you to bear in mind when you teach your students. Arrangements. It's fixed. Okay, but how is it that it's fixed? Why fixed? Can't we change it? Yes, we can change it. Probably something happens and we cannot go to our French lessons. But the idea is that I have committed myself because I have already arranged with another one, with another person. So pay attention to the uses. Now, we are going, if you agree, we are going to have a break. And after the break, I would like to discuss 2 or 3 more things about tenses and give you an activity, a form. Okay. I don't want to give it to you so late because you are going to be knackered. What is knackered?
Asleep.
What does knackered mean?
I don't know.
Tired. Very tired. I'm knackered. It's like when you say in Spanish, estoy...
Fusilado.
Fusilado. Estoy...
Cocinado.
Exhausted.
Exhausted, very exhausted, right? I'm knackered. So you can say I'm worn out. Worn out. Okay, when you are really exhausted.
Yes.
That's why this comes, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. Sorry, but this is why you say wear out. The phrasal verb wear out. you wear a sweater out. You wear out a sweater, a piece of clothing. You wear it so much.
Oh,
Okay, you
all
ruin it.
all in.
That's it. You ruin it. So when you say I'm worn out, it comes from this, to wear somebody out. You can wear somebody out too, right? Because, well, you have been very intense with that person. Okay. Well, people, ready.
Don't forget to stop
I said you.
recording.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I will stop recording and I will see you in half an hour. Do you agree?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye, people. See you
Thank
then.
you.
Don't leave.
No.
Oh.
Yo no me olvidé de preguntarle a Patricia si podía hacer igual grupo con ustedes porque, o sea, al fin y al cabo, el material y los trabajos son los mismos. Yo recién salí del Meet de ella, que tenemos los miércoles, pero no me olvidé de preguntarle si podía hacer grupo con ustedes.
Claro, yo el año pasado cursé tecnología los sábados porque se me interponía con una materia que tenía que recursar de primero. Y era segundo primera y ustedes estaban en segundo segunda. Y empezamos a hacer los trabajos juntos y después en un trabajo me avivé que yo tenía tiempo de entregarlos hasta el sábado y ustedes que no sé, ponele que era el jueves la materia. Y le pregunté a Medela, le mandé un mensaje a Medela preguntándole si podía seguir trabajando junto con ustedes, ya que era virtual la manera, si había algún inconveniente. Y me dijo que no, que solamente tenía que aclarar de qué comisión era. O sea, no sé si vos podrías preguntarle lo mismo a Patricia, decirle que sos de tal comisión, pero como los trabajos se entregan en el classroom, si puedes hacer grupo con nosotros, porque qué sé yo, lo empezaste haciendo con nosotros y después te diste cuenta hoy que eras de otra comisión. O no sé, eso arreglalo como vos quieras. Pero no sé, podrías preguntarle. Por ahí Patricia se copa. porque con vos seríamos justo 4.
Claro, yo tengo los miércoles el Meet. Después le voy a preguntar a ver qué onda y si se puede, si hago grupo con ustedes. Y lo que estaba diciendo hoy en la reunión, que seguramente se lo va a decir mañana a ustedes, es que los trabajos en grupo, por más que sean en grupo, no es como en las otras materias que uno solo lo entrega. Acá lo tenemos que entregar los 4 porque en Classroom está esa, o sea, no tienen la opción como para seleccionar que algunos nomás envíen los trabajos. Si yo no entrego, me va a saltar como que yo no entregué la tarea por más que lo hayamos hecho en grupo. Entonces ella prefiere que cada integrante, perdón, del grupo lo entregue, pero ella sí va a corregir solo uno, pero no